Hello aspirants, welcome to Grace IS, and today we are going to have an session on answer writing, right? As you all know that your UPSC mains is the most important aspect, isn't it, in your final selection. Most important aspect in your final selection, that is your second stage. Of course, the first stage you have to clear to go to the second stage. And then how well you perform in your mains, that will decide your selection and also ranking. Selection as well as your ranking. The better you write the answer, the better the propensity of clearing the examination and also getting good rank. So it is very, very important that you should know the basic of answer writing. So in today's session, I am going to talk about what is the basic of answer writing, what are the various parameters you have to keep in your mind to write good answers, one thing. And secondly, I will also show you a topper answer, how she has written and what made her, top UPSC examination. And one more answer I will show of our own student who is writing this year. He has taken the test series, so he is writing very good answer. So I just want to show you the structure, the way he is structuring and all. So you will get an idea about what a good answer look like. Okay. So let's look into the basics of answer writing. Basics of answer writing. So all of you know that there is a 3-step formula in answer writing, that is the introduction, body and conclusion. But before that, what is very, very important, that you read the question carefully. Read the question carefully. That's extremely important, that you read the question, because many a time, we don't read the question and we jump on writing the answer. So that is where we thought that we have written very good answer, but then actually we have not fulfilled the demand of the question. So it is not just about writing, it is about answer writing, isn't it? So it is not just about writing, it is answering the question. So it is very important that your answer has to be pinpoint, because there is an issue of time management, there is a issues of word limit as well. We don't have an unlimited word to write answer, neither we have unlimited time. So within the stipulated time you have, and also within the word limit which is mentioned in the question, you have to write an to the point answer, relevant answer, relevant. Should be addressed adequately. Each part of your question, if the question has 2 parts or 3 parts, each part has to be addressed in a proper manner, right? So these are first and foremost important thing is to understand the question really well. Apart from that, of course we'll come into that. This is what about the question. Now, how will you able to write or how will you able to understand the question? To understand the question, first of all, we should understand the topic itself, isn't it? So, knowledge building. Before understanding the question, you have to understand the topic itself. So, you build knowledge, build concepts, build concepts. If your concepts are clear, you can definitely understand the question well, and also you will be able to write well, to the point, relevant, right? So build the concept by studying in an exam oriented manner. Whatever you are studying, you should think in your mind, if the questions come from this section, how will I handle? or how can I use this piece of information or this piece of idea in my answer. That is what, that's the art of studying. You should know how to study for the exam. Processing, there should always come with the processing in your mind. It's not just about reading like a novel. It is about memorizing. It is about understanding, memorizing important facts, understanding important topic, concepts, interlinking various concepts. And that will come when your concepts are very clear. You will be able to also interlink the various concepts, right? So building knowledge is very important, first and foremost important thing. If your knowledge is good, then of course comes when the questions comes in front of you, you have to read the question really well, because even if I have a good knowledge, I have a good clarity about the topic, but if I don't read the question carefully, or if I misinterpret the question, definitely my answer will not be as per the answer. Structuring of answer. Structuring of your answer. So for that, you know that there's a 3-step, right? Introduction, body, conclusion, isn't it? These are the 3 important aspects of your any answer, and all the 3 aspects has to be covered in your answer. Many a time the student, they will not write conclusion. They'll miss out the conclusion. I know there will be too much of time pressure and all, because you have to complete your answer within the time period. But still, at least the initial part, you know, maybe last 1 or 2 question you are in so much hurry, you are not able to follow the proper format, but initial answers, right? So it has to be in a proper format. Now, many people I have also seen, you know, introduction, they will start with some kind of point or so. No, introduction has to be in a paragraph format. Paragraph format. Conclusion also paragraph format. I'll show you the answer also, you will come to know. Body preferably in points, and also better put the numbering, rather than you are using some kind of star mark you will use or bullet. It is always put it in a number format, so that the examiner will know that yes, you have written 5 points, isn't it? Clear, 5 points, 4 points, whatever. So it is very easy for the examiner. And then in the body aspect, you please put a heading in the box. Heading, you put it in the box, and then you can write in the point 1, 2, 3. You can write up or simply write 1, 2, 3. Then if there is a sub point, there is sub point to 1. You can write either A, B or C, or you can write 1, 2 or 3, like that, sub points. Right? This is what, and heading preferably put it in a box. Put the heading in the box, so it will be very, very clear that this is what you are writing. Your answer should look very good, well presented, neatly presented. Right? So proper structuring is very, very important. Now this is about the structure, introduction in a paragraph, body preferably in points. If you are not able to get in the proper points, then you can use small paragraph, interconnected small paragraph, that also can be written. Some of the questions which are analytical and you find that, you know, I am not able to put it in a proper point format 1, 2, 3, there you can put it in a small paragraph, interconnected small paragraph, your body aspect, right? That can also be done. But wherever points, we can write under points. It is always better to write in points, because it is easy for the examiner to evaluate your answer, right? And conclusion should always be in a paragraph format. Got it? Now let's talk about introduction, how we can start introduction and conclusion. So we should have a ready, after preparing or while preparing, you see your syllabus properly, and whatever it is mentioned, the keywords in your syllabus, on every topic you prepare well, and by going through the PYQs, you will get a fair idea. You will get a fair idea that what type of questions are coming. Try to answer that. Try to answer that and be ready with some kind of introduction. By solving those questions, you will definitely write introduction, conclusion and all. So okay, there are 20 questions are coming in your mains, right? It's not that it is covering the entire syllabus. They can ask from any part of the syllabus, but then you have to be prepared for the entire syllabus or not. You have to prepare entire syllabus. So whatever the 20 question you solved from whatever the aspect of the syllabus, but still there are many aspects of the syllabus that particular year they had not asked, but you should be ready. So you be prepared with some kind of introduction. If these questions come, how can I introduce an answer? If these questions come, how can I conclude this answer? Be ready with some kind of introduction and conclusion on every topic, at least topic wise. Parliamentary form of government, what could be the introduction, what could be the conclusion? Of course, by looking at the PYQ, you will come to know what the type of questions are coming. Cabinet form of government, council or what is the difference between cabinet ministers and council of ministers? The definition, you should be ready with the definition. You can very easy way to start in the introduction. So introduction, either we can start simple by defining through the definition or through context, and it is very important. It is very important to try to find the context of the question. If the question has come, try to see is there any current related happening with this question. Suppose the question come on cloud burst. So there has been issues of cloud burst. So you can start with the context, and even if you have not started, somewhere in your answer it has to be mentioned. Maybe in the body part or in the conclusion. Very good if you can mention in the introduction itself, or at least in the body part. Context. So try to find, if the question has come, what is the context? Is there any context related to this question? Context. Then data. Is there any relevant data related to that question? If I don't know anything, at least I should know the definition or the meaning. Definition or meaning of what they had asked, the main theme of the question. So this is how your introduction. One more thing I'll talk about the introduction is that the main theme of the question must be reflected in your introduction. Many a time we see that they are writing the introduction, but it is not related with the demand of the question. They are writing something else. So main thing should be, the core of the question should be reflected in the question, also in the conclusion. Sometimes conclusion also we'll see they are giving the conclusion totally unrelated to the demand of the question. Right? So main theme should be reflected in intro as well as in the conclusion, both. Main theme of the question. So this is how you can start your introduction, and you can keep ready with some of the introductions here, and that is how you can plan by solving the previous year questions paper. You can take the help of internet, you can take the help of the various resources to formulate a good answer, and then what happens, you start building yourself good answers. Start building good answers. This is about the introduction. Paragraph format. Should remember you can identify the context of the question, that can be mentioned in the introduction, or else you can start with the definition, and also one can start with some kind of data related with that question. This is the way to start a question. And what main theme must be reflected in your introduction, and also in the conclusion. Let's come to the conclusion part, then I'll talk the body. Conclusion, paragraph format, then conclusion should be positive, forward looking. Your conclusion should not be negative in nature. It should never be negative in nature. Even if the question is negative in nature, but conclusion should not be negative, neither your introduction. Right? Otherwise, it shows your personality as a pessimist personality. Concern we can mention. Yes, there are concerns, there are issues, there are challenges, but your answer should not reflect a pessimistic orientation. There is an absolutely sorry state of affair, the system is not functioning at all, there is a corruption everywhere, there is a darkness. No, so such kind of thing should not be reflected in your answer. There should be, yes, issues of concerns, challenges, problems are there, but then there are solutions, solution oriented. Your answer should always be solution oriented, because as a public servant, you are going to solve the problem. You are not going to just talk about the problem, but also you are going to provide solution. So that is how in your answer also it should be reflected, solution oriented, right? So this is all about, we have talked about conclusion. It should be positive, forward looking, and balanced. It should be balanced, right? Neutral. Your answer should be overall your answer has to be neutral. It's not like you behave like an activist and write your answer. Tone and temper of your answer has to be neutral, official tone. Okay? And officers never talk like an activist. They talk in a very mild, Buddha part, middle path. Middle path. You have to always take the middle path. So this is about, we have talked briefly about introduction, conclusion. Now body part. So body part, as I have told you, how the structuring, it could be one in points format, preferably points format, by giving one heading. Put the heading as per the demand of the question, and under that you write in points. If there is any sub point, you write like this. Then underlining keywords. You want your because this examiner, they won't have so much of time, so they will try to look important thing in your answer. So if you highlight the keywords, they will see your keywords and okay, this thing he has mentioned or she has mentioned. Yeah, done. He has mentioned all the things. So important keyword. It doesn't mean that you keep on underlining everything. You should know. You should very intelligently underline the important keywords or important phrase, important aspect of your answer, not underlining everything. So these are the various aspects we have talked under introduction, body and conclusion. And whenever, if the question is opinion based, or critically analyzed, always it has to be both positive and negative. It cannot be one. And whenever you are talking about positive and negative, you have to also talk about the solution. You have to also talk about what? Solution. Whenever you are talking about like critically examine, whenever they ask about the critically examine. Critically means you have to present both the viewpoint, positive and negative, and then you have to also mention the solution or way forward. And no need to mention in the the heading. No need to mention in the heading introduction, body and conclusion. Okay, some people they mention what? They'll mention introduction, conclusion, No need to mention that. First paragraph is introduction, last paragraph is conclusion, right? And in the middle there is a body part. So don't underline that I am mentioning introduction, I am mentioning conclusion. No need to mention that. Way forward, yes, when you are mentioning way forward, maybe you can underline and put it. That way forward would be the part of the body aspect itself, body aspect, right? Now next aspect, structuring we have seen. Then another important aspect, very important aspect is your time management. Time management. This is one of the most crucial aspect. We can write fantastic answer, but then if you are not able to complete the paper, all our effort or most of our effort goes in vain, because we are not able to complete the paper. Not able to complete the paper, or maybe the last questions, maybe like if you have taken disproportionately more time in addressing the initial few questions. Suppose we out of 3 hours you are getting, and you have taken 2 hours for only 10 questions, first 10 question 2 hours. Obviously how will you write? Suppose if you want to somehow go in a rush, first of all your mind will become foggy. You will become nervous, pakka. Your hand will start shaking and trembling. Oh my God, only 1 hour is left and I have to complete 15 markers, 10 questions. So your hand will start trembling. So don't do like that. So all this practice has to be done beforehand. That's why mock test and mock, whatever the test we are giving, take it very seriously. These all are the practice kind of thing. And whenever you are writing your mains, I wish you write very early. You should practice lot of mock test, right? So one very important aspect is the time management. You have to manage your time for each questions. How much time you are getting? 7 minutes for 10 markers, right? 10 markers, 7 minutes. For 15 markers, have you calculated? 10 minutes or 9 minutes? 8.5 minutes, 8.5 or say 9 minutes, okay? So you have to little bit reduce here and there. Some of the question definitely, some question initially question you will take little more time, because warming up will be there, right? So what you should do is that, suppose the first question, we should practice that first question also, we should take 7 minutes only, because it start with the 10 markers. So suppose you take 9 minutes or maybe 10 minutes in the first question. Second or by the third question. By the third question 7 minutes means 21 minutes. By 21 minutes it should complete. You should able to finish it off here. Right? Or else, because initial 5 to 6 question will form an impression to the examiner that how this guy is writing his answer, whether he knows the thing or not. So otherwise what we can do, the first 10 question you have the time limit. You give the time limit that it should be done in within 70 minutes. 70 minutes. So we have to see that, okay, first 5 question I have seen, I am 7 minutes, I am surpassing. 7 minutes more I have already taken, or 10 minutes more I am already taken, if I go by the calculation of my time. So you have to little rush then and able to complete the paper. This is a one way. Another way of completion of the paper, or also what I suggest, that 1 to 5. You initial you go for 1 to 5, and then you can go for 11 to 16 or 17. 11 to 17 you can go. First you write this, then again come back to 6 to 10, and then 18 to 20. Like this you can come. Because initial 5 to 6 question, they will form the impression, it has to be really good. But then we have to also complete 15 markers, isn't it? because it takes little more time. So we should go and complete the 15 markers. Again come back, because anyway the examiner will go, 1 to 10 and then 11 to like that, right? So we have to also complete in good quality 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, right? Then you can do like this. This is one way of handling the questions. Time management, I already told you. Please stick to the time management, and related with the time management is your word limit. Whatever the word limit, anyway, nowadays since 2013 there has been a booklet format of the questions and answer in the UPSC. So word limit is not a big issue, but then we need to practice. We need to practice in that format. So if it is 150 word means 2 pages. 250 pages means 1 page and one half page, like that they will give you. One side half, one full page, this side and this side, and one half page, 250 words. So that is how you have to practice. This much space is given, and within that I have to manage my space. And then obviously in that you will make some diagram also and all. You will be able to utilize. So word limit nowadays, there's not so much issues as earlier it was, because earlier it was an open booklet, and if it is 200 words, people used to write 400, 500s. I am one of among them. That is how, I was not able to complete my paper. So now this pattern is good. This pattern is good. Another important aspect is your linguistic ability. Linguistic ability. Your language has to be formal. Formal language. And there should be issues of spelling mistakes, grammatical errors must be minimized. Must be minimized. Spelling mistake, it should be almost negligible. Grammatical error also, you should bring it down. Very less, here and there, if it is there, it's okay. But there should not be too much of grammatical error. So, and formal language. Again, how to develop formal language? Read good books, good stuff, government reports like Yojana, Kurukshetra magazines, newspaper. I think newspaper is a very good way to inculcate formal language. NCERT books, you learn the formal language. Then how to develop good answer writing? Having talked about all these things, taking care of all these parameters, for that what you have to do? Practice, isn't it? Practice regularly. Isn't it or not? Practice, practice and practice till you get a certain amount of perfection. Isn't it? As much you practice, the more the refinement will take place. Refinement will take place or not? So obviously practice regularly. Then to enhance the value of your answer, you can improve your presentation by use of flow chart, some diagrams, map, etc. But then remember, no need to incorporate in all the questions, because most importantly is managing time itself and completing the paper. Some few questions you can use it, right? Neatness is very, very important. Your handwriting has to be legible. Handwriting has to be legible. Very important. Very, very important. So we'll see, we have seen the toppers, whosoever is the topper. One thing is that their handwriting was pretty good. All the toppers we have seen so far, their handwriting was pretty good. Content so definitely has to be good, but their handwriting was also good and neat. Then substantiating your answer. You have to substantiate your answer. For that, you have to include information from current affairs. You have to incorporate current affairs like data, examples, right? Context, data, examples, of recent happening to substantiate your answer, right? And then addressing each part of the question, I have already told you, balanced opinion and all. Review and revise. Review your answer. Review your answer. This is again very important. Many a time what happen, you know, we just keep on writing. You write one paragraph, read it. Then read the question again. Then again you write another paragraph, maybe the body aspect. And then you see whether you have addressed each part of the question or not. Because many a time if you just read once the question and we are writing an answer in the flow, we may deviate. So reviewing your answer, one paragraph, two paragraph I have written, let me read if I had any kind of mistakes, or if I am deviating from the topic or the demand of the question. So reviewing your answer is very, very important. You have to read your answer, review your answer, okay, to see that you have addressed each part of the question and also see that you have not deviated from the topic. So after writing each paragraph or two paragraph, you read it, what you have written, and also read the question again. So this is how we have talked about the basic of answer writing. So please take care of all these parameters. You have to work on all these parameters to improve your answer writing. Not one, but multiple parameters. That is why the mains is actual test of your, your skill, your competency. Because that's not a one aspect, but there are various aspects. So just let's revise it. So basics of answer writing, read the question carefully, see that all the parts you have addressed adequately. Before that, you have to build knowledge and concept about the topic. Then this is about the structuring of the answer, introduction, body, conclusion, introduction, paragraph, conclusion, paragraph, body preferably in points which can be put in the number format. This is how I have to talked about the body aspect, right? Put a heading and then you put it in the 1, 2, 3 points and sub points. And if where you are not able to write in points, there small paragraphs. Conclusion, paragraph format, it has to be positive, forward looking, balanced. Introductions, it can be started by defining the theme of the question. It can be start with some kind of data or context, right? Then time management, I have already talked that it's very important, extremely important. You must adhere to the time limit. Then linguistic ability, in that spelling, grammatical error, those has to be minimized. Practice regularly. If you practice, then only you will be able to manage everything. Time management, word limit, content management, relevance of the content, everything you will be able to refine and hone your skill further with regular practice, right? Presentation, flow chart, diagram and all can be included. Neatness, handwriting has to be very much legible. So all these aspects you must keep in your mind. And further, I also talked about for substantiating your answer or enriching your answer, it should be backed by current affairs, context, data and example. You should include current happenings in your answer. That is why read newspaper regularly and review at the end, or not at the end, while writing your answer itself you should review. At the end also you should review your answer. And you should see that you are not deviating from the topic. Now let me show some of the this is Isita Kishore answer. So she was the topper in 2000. 23. So look at the way she has answered. Look at, see, it is the introduction. Can you see? It's very clearly looks the introduction, isn't it? And then body part, you see, she has written 1 economic life, and she has mentioned the sub points, 1, 2, 3 sub points. Then social life, and she has mentioned 1, 2, 3 sub points. 4 sub points, isn't it? Not too much of explanation, like a points format. Then third, she has mentioned about the religious point, right? Religious life. Under that, she has written 4 sub points, isn't it? So she has talked about the various aspect of the question and broken into 3 parts, 1, 2, 3, and in that she has written the various sub parts. She has substantiated, right? And this is how she has concluded her answer. And in her answer, you see, it is about Indus Valley civilization. The question is about Indus Valley civilization. You see, the various archaeological evidence paints a rich picture of social, economic and religious life, right? So that's why she has mentioned about the economic life, social life and religious life, right? Each part she has addressed, and look at the conclusion she has written. So conclusion is nothing but summarization. She has summarized. The cities were in great format, inspiring modern day architecture like in Chandigarh. You see, she has given one recent examples that how Mohenjo-daro IVC kind of technique was also included in modern day town planning. Chandigarh. This has enhanced her answer like anything. She would definitely get half marks or 1 mark extra for this point, at least half marks. This is how toppers are made, isn't it? So she has related with Chandigarh. You can see the answer, right? So this is how, see, contradicting the doomsayer of idea of India as a nation, India has exhibited a successful experiment in democracy. Comment. So she has introduced, on the eve of independence, there was widespread belief that India democratic experiment will fail, leading to balkanization of the country. With the context you see, and actual theme of the question is reflected in the introduction, isn't it or not? That is how toppers are made. She has mentioned the theme of the question in the introduction, because how the doomsayer were saying that India will not sustain, it will balkanize. India as an independent nation, they are not going to sustain, because that is how when the colonial people, they were leaving, that is what they were saying. Then you see, she has one presentation she had done, condition in 1947, how neatly she has done. Neatness is very important. That despite these underlying conditions, then she has connected, this is the condition, and then she has connected, despite these underlying conditions, India emerged as a thriving democracy. And in that she has mentioned, see, the first electoral participation she has given with data, isn't it? Independent judiciary, parliamentary committees, social democracy, election commission of India. These are the 5 points to substantiate that India is a thriving democracy. Then conclusion. However, there is need to further make our democracy substantive by overcoming these challenges. There are certain challenges she has done in a picture format, and this will ensure our cultural values of Sanghas continue. Togetherness, democracy. She has used one Sangha. Innovation, isn't it? So look at her answer. That is why she got All India rank 1. Isn't it or not? So this is about Ishita Kishore. Anyway, you can see her answers, and that will guide you. This is one more This guy, he is writing our test. So just I want to show you the way his presentation and all. So this is an evaluated answer copy. So the first question is about dust storm. That what is dust storm? What are the causes and how can we save ourselves from the dust storm? So he started with the introduction. You look at the presentation and all. So he started with dust storms. What are dust storms? He started with defining, right? Then he has mentioned in a box the causes of dust storm. That's the body part, right? And then he has written point. Each point looks very distinct, isn't it? Look at the presentation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks very, very distinct. Then second part of the question, ways to protect from dust storms. He has written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, right? So in that evaluation, we have mentioned that whatever the extra point he need to mention. And this is how he concluded. Look at the distinctiveness each question carries, or each his answers carries. Introduction, body, conclusion, looks very distinct, neatly presented. Isn't it? So toppers in making. If he can do it in the same manner in the UPSC mains, we don't know if he becomes a topper. So all thing is he has to do is that replicate the same thing in the UPSC. So here he has used some kind of diagram, but then again if you have time you do it, otherwise you see diagram are not most essential thing. They are only to enhance your presentation. Here and there you can use, but so much time if you use in your diagram and don't complete the paper, then it will be danger for you. Completion of the paper is most important. You can use diagram here and there, but why I am showing you this? To show his distinctiveness. He has written the answer so neatly, well defined. See, the third, it is about the tertiary sector, introduction in 3 to 4 line. Body aspect, put it neatly in the box. Then points, 1 to 1 points. This is the sub points here, just explanation he has mentioned. Then second, he has given the examples also. Can you see? Then third point, he had given examples. Fourth points, example. Fifth point, example. Then challenges. So this is another way of presentation, you see what he has done. So what he has done, you see, this is another way of presentation, isn't it? First he has written just point 1, 2, 3. This is another way of presentation or not? Yes, he has put one vertical line and he has linked. Another way to break the monotony, simple but little different. So in the similar way, see here he has put the 2 sub points. Can you see? Points, under that 2 sub points, isn't it? Then second point, sub points. Third point, sub points. Second part of the question, the various points, way forward also you see, and then conclusion. So my point of showing these copies were, one I have shown you of the topper itself, and another I have shown you the one who is writing our mains test series. So I really liked the way he presented with a very neatness and clarity. So that's why I have shown you his paper as well. The structuring of his answer, very beautiful. Content as well, he has written really well. Right? Any doubt you have? Any questions in your mind? Any questions? No? So I hope this session would be useful to you. You can utilize this session to improve your answer writing skill, and for that what you have to do? You have to practice. Practice, analyze your performance, work on the feedback, whatever the feedback has been given, and then see that you are not repeating the same mistake again and again. Analysis of your performance is very important. Just writing test is not important, but analyzing your performance and learning from the feedback, whatever the feedback is given, working on those things, and then improving in your further test. All right, all the best.